we. It's not the coolest gram.
No, that's the highest gram.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, we're live everywhere
Let
now.
me stop talking about the drugs then. Hi, everybody. Where do we start? I guess we should start with this. Real nigga birthday. Real nigga birthday. Real nigga birthday. Real nigga birthday. Hey. But like for real, it is our birthday. If you don't know who I am, I'm Reggie.
I'm Colin.
And 24 years and 9 months ago, two people decided to fuck, and lo and behold, they got a 2-for-1 deal in the hood for niggas. But we are here to celebrate our birthday and bring you another live episode of Founders Speak. Oh my goodness, it's been a while since we've gone live for y'all. You know, the COVID, the depression, we got jobs, the capitalism. But we are so glad to be back. And we have a very special episode for you today. We're not going to be talking about issues in the community, which we love doing, but it's a real nigga birthday. Real nigga birthday. And we're not going to burden ourselves with serious topics. Instead, we are here to bring you a versus battle. Yes, the versus between your favorite dead white poets. We are giving you Shel Silverstein. We are giving you Dr. Seuss. We are giving you Robert Frost. We were gonna give you Lord Byron, but we read about that nigga and he is weird. So fucking weird. Like I didn't even feel comfortable interacting with his work after. Did you hear the love child with the sister? No. Yes, no, it's giving me incest. It's giving me Game of Thrones without the thrones. So yeah, we decided
he was a lord. He was a lord.
He was lord of something. But yeah, we have a bunch of poets lined up for you.
What else do we have, Reggie?
We have a charcuterie board.
Ooh. Can we get the camera on this charcuterie board?
Y'all are looking at $100 in meat and cheese and fruit. Y'all. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. I don't even know why they gave 2 lactose intolerant niggas cheese.
Wait, 1 lactose intolerant nigga until further notice.
And 1 lactose intolerant nigga in denial. You know, denial is the first step in the stage of grief. So, you know, it's early on and you'll get there. You'll get through it. We'll get through it together with this charcuterie board. But yeah, it's just going to be good vibes. So we got 4 brackets. It's going to be a tournament style duel. We got 8 lovely, decomposing, alabaster skin poets coming up for you tonight. It's not even night. Y'all already know we gonna fuck. Was someone saying worm infested? I don't know if they got worms. You know, coffins, especially if they're made out of like sturdy materials like metal, marble, rock, things like that, actually avoid a lot of the bug type things and you get a lot of fungi. Follow Ask a Mortician on YouTube. They're great. You learn a lot of things about death and burial. But yeah, I think, who should we start with? Who's bracket number 1?
Bracket number 1 would be,
who are we gonna do?
Let's start off good with Frost versus Thoreau.
Okay, for sure. Okay, so for Frost, the poem that we will be bringing up in the first bracket is called Mending Walk.
Oh, no. We're doing Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening.
Okay. I got vetoed. We're doing Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. Can you pull that up, dear Colonel?
Okay, I guess that's my regal name.
Yes. If my regal name is Reginald, yours is Colonel. Colin is more like a last name. How you got 2 last names, sir?
Stopping by the woods on a snowy evening.
Be performative.
Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound, the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. These woods are lovely, deep and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. We'll come back to that
Okay.
because next we have Tall Ambrosia
Wait a second.
by Henry David Thoreau. Among the signs of autumn I perceive the Roman wormwood, called by learned men ambrosia elatior, food for the gods. For to impartial science, the humblest weed is as immortal once as the proudest flower, sprinkles its yellow dust over my shoes as I cross the now neglected garden. We trample underfoot the food of gods and spill their nectar in each drop of dew. My honest shoes, fast friends that never stray far from my couch, thus powdered country field, bearing many a mile the marks of their adventure. At the post house disgrace, the Gallic cross of those well-dressed who no morning dew, nor Roman wormwood have ever been through, who never walk but are transported rather for what old clime of theirs I do not gather. I don't know what the fuck that means other than this nigga loves countrysides. Hey, Colin, move into the screen a little bit.
Move in. They can only see Reggie. Cool.
I mean, I'm the most important part.
Woo, that's disrespectful. So let's start with Robert Frost and analyzing this poem really quickly.
What does it mean?
So first of all, it's very clear that it's winter. It's very clear that it's cold outside. There are words like frozen lake, darkest evening of the year. This is actually takes place tomorrow. The winter solstice.
The winter solstice when black people are getting superpowers. You better watch out.
Watch out.
Y'all better hope Umar Johnson don't get superpowers.
You gonna use it to take all your grits money.
I too am praying that away. I too am praying for y'all.
Hey, you know what? If this nigga gets superpowers, is he finally gonna build that school?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh gosh. But it's clearly very cold outside, and I think this poem is very much him, especially when he's saying things like, he will not see me stopping here to watch the woods fill up with snow. He's looking at somebody else's cabin and saying, this person wouldn't even know that I stopped by their cabin to wait out the snowstorm. And then it goes on later to say, the woods are lovely, dark and deep. Like, yeah, I could really be a mountain man. Like, the fuck this cold shit, which I am totally with. I'm fuck the cold. I am what I call a 60 to 80 nigga. That is my temp range. Anything below 60 is cold. Anything above 80 is hot. Fuck all that shit.
I'm a 70 plus. For sure. A 70 plus.
But then it says, the next line is, but I have promises to keep. I am assuming in reading that is a family.
This nigga really thought about leaving his family to just be in the woods. That's, first of all.
And then wrote a poem about it.
Wow. Wow. And then wrote a poem about it. And see, this is why, you know what, I'm not gonna say it because Facebook banned me for saying this already. Y'all know how I feel about people of the male persuasion.
God says, where are all the white fathers?
Where are all the white fathers? That's the question. Apparently writing poems about how they want to run off in the woods. They'd rather run off in the woods than take care of their kids.
All right, what do you have to say about Thoreau?
Thoreau, obviously another poem steeped in nature. Um, first off, tells us what time of the year it is, autumn, among the signs of autumn. So it's not just autumn, it's early autumn, because these are signs telling people that it's now turning into autumn. Now like really sets the stage, a neglected garden. So we're not thinking, so like we're not even thinking about like, this isn't about like a flower that's cultivated. This is about a weed, something that ain't supposed to motherfucking grow where you trying to grow. And talking about how, you know, a weed can be really important. Like, for example, I agree, weed can be very important.
Damn right.
Weed is the only reason I am here right now.
Yes, man.
Because I had to be high to get this idea. We had to be high. But at the end, like he very subtly sneak disses people by saying, oh, it's people that like got gardens and shit and like are in nature that are like really really important. Like, those businessmen, the city folk, they're not really like, they don't get it, man. They don't get it. They don't get the whole thing about being in nature. That's what this poem is. This is the hippie in nature.
The original hippie.
Mm-hmm. Hate Street, wishes it could.
All right. So which do we think? Ignore you? I would never ignore you.
Gay.
Don't get the live stream taken down.
I'm gay, it's fine.
I know, but the Facebook doesn't.
Know the F word.
What? Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do we think is moving on to the next round?
I personally think it's Frost because he was about to leave his motherfucker.
Hey, how cold does it have to be like, hey, yo, fuck me, my wife and kids. I'm going to live in somebody else's cabin.
No, like not even cold. Like, is it really winter or is it winter in his heart?
But well, those are mutually exclusive.
So, do you think it's Frost?
I really am gonna go with Frost as well on this.
We're gonna take leaving your kids for 5,000, Alex.
All right, so give it up for Robert Frost, the first person to make it out of round one of our brackets.
You know what, Henry David Thoreau, thank you so much for signing up for this slam.
Come back next time.
Come back next time.
We also, we forgot to announce this, but the winner has to participate in a very, very fun bonus round.
What's the bonus round? Huh? Oh. Oh. He wrote a poem?
No, but he has a whole bunch of quotes.
Oh, nice. We love it. We love it. Yes. Cool. So, that was our first bracket. So moving on is Robert Frost. Gang, 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 gang. Next, should we have?
Let's do Shakespeare versus Anne Bradshaw.
Ooh, okay.
Shakespeare's poetry is actually kind of creepy.
It is. It is. And Anne Bradshaw, like for context, like, okay, like Anne Bradshaw is probably one of the like in terms of quality of writing, but we don't give a fuck about quality. This is about entertaining. These are about your hits. We're looking for hits.
All right, so this is sonnet number 20. It's one of Shakespeare's most famous sonnets. Let's see what he got to do with this. It's called Sonnet 20. A woman's face with nature's own hand painted. Hast thou, the master mistress of my passion, a woman's gentle heart, but not acquainted with shifting change, as if is false woman's fashion, an eye more bright than theirs, less false enrolling, gliding the object whereupon it gazeth, a man in hue, all hues in his controlling, which steals men's eyes and women's souls amazeth. And for a woman wert thou first created, till nature as she saw wrought thee felt a doting, and by addition me of thee defeated, by adding one thing to my purpose, nothing. But since she pricked thee out for women's pleasure, mine be thy love, and thy love use their treasures. This was kind of
Okay.
yeah.
Shakespeare was so gay.
Wow. It sounds like Shakespeare's trying to steal somebody's man. Wait,
There's a backstory.
Chardonnay has backstory.
Come here. Have some of this charcuterie board. Join us for this.
Join us.
See, I really have the beverages that I can't have, so I'm gonna just. So yes, lovely. Very fine.
Thank you, niggas.
Backstory. Shakespeare was hired to write poems to seduce. I believe he was actually supposed to be seducing the prince to marry this woman, or maybe vice versa, but I like the narrative where he's supposed to be seducing this man to marry this poor family. He's supposed to be saying how lovely this woman is, and getting the woman to be with the man. And instead, while he's trying to seduce him for her, he's like, but wait a minute.
I need a prince too.
Oh my
I feel
God.
you, Shakespeare. We all need a prince to save us from this capitalistic hell.
All right.
So Shakespeare's got a prince. And okay, so thank you,
Chardonnay, for that backstory.
Yes.
Much needed context.
Okay, so here's the thing. I just realized something. This is how much I give a fuck about these poets. I've been promoting this bitch's name wrong. Like the whole time. It's not Anne Bradshaw, it's Anne Bradstreet. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I hate
What's she
it.
gonna do? She gonna fight me from the grave?
You know, you're going to get haunted, and you know what? You're going to have no one to blame but yourself.
When I put salt at that door, she's gonna shut the fuck up.
Oh, someone said, it was this God who said this.
Mm-hmm.
God said, it's not exactly hard to find homoerotic sensibility in Shakespeare's work.
He's always making a woman like pretend to be like a man, or making men pretend to be women, and then pretend to be in love with each other. It's hilarious. Like, I'm here for the narrative that Shakespeare was gay and trans. Leave me alone.
All right, so let's get on to Anne Bradstreet, not Bradshaw.
Wow.
Would you like to read that poem, Reggie?
Yes. It's called The Author to Her Book. Thou ill-formed offspring of my feeble brain, who after birth didst by my side remain, till snatched from thence by friends less wise than true, who thee abroad exposed to public view, made thee in rags, halting to the press to trudge, where errors were not lessened, all may judge. At thy return, my blushing was not small, my rambling brat and print should mother call. I cast thee by as one unfit for light. Thy visage was so irksome in my sight, yet being mine own, at length affection would thy blemishes amend, if so I could. I washed thy face, but more defects I saw, and rubbing off a spot still made a flaw. I stretched thy joints to make thee even feet, yet still thou runt'st more hobbling than is meet. In better dress to trim thee was my mind, but not save homespun cloth in the house I find. In this array amongst vulgars may thou roam. In cricket's hand beware thou dost not come, and take thy way where yet thou art not known. If for thy father ask, say thou hast none, and for thy mother she alas is poor, which caused her thus to send thee out of the door.
Shit, that's a
somebody actually, like for real, took this bitch wrote a book of poems or like writings or essays, whatever they were doing in like 15, whatever the fuck, 17, whatever the fuck. Hell if I know. I didn't date these poems. I don't date these bitches. I just read their poetry and make fun of them. But she wrote a book and she didn't want to publish it because she didn't feel like it was up to her standards. And somebody was like, I'm gonna take this and publish it for her. And I think that's whack. So we have, let's see, we have gay shit and plagiarism. What's up?
This is hard.
This is hard.
I really thought
I feel like gay shit might be harder though.
I really thought Aaron Bradstreet was gonna take it when we first chose them, but then we realized that Shakespeare was not only gay, but trying to seduce somebody that he was getting paid to seduce for somebody else, which is messy.
Yeah.
And the sonnets were what he was paid to do.
And he was paid to do the sonnets. Lord have mercy. Imagine paying somebody to write your crush a love letter and they're hitting on them at the same time. In the same letters.
I'll write your crush a love letter.
Oh,
if
God.
your crush is fine.
So, Reggie,
Damn. God, I think we need a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Ann got this in the comment section.
Yeah, we have one person saying one vote for Anne.
Okay, that's the tiebreaker. Ann Bradshaw wins. Yay!
Yes, I think Ann Bradshaw took this one. It was really close. Really close.
Really close.
Especially with like the messiness of like just the idea of all these sonnets.
Can we just say that we keep saying Ann Bradshaw like her name ain't Ann Bradstreet?
It's Bradshaw now.
It's Bradshaw.
If they can't say Shaniqua, I can't say Bradshaw.
Bradstreet.
I'm not gonna say it right.
Well, this is reparations,
Can we just call her Ann Braddy for short?
Ann Braddy.
Braddy's just so much easier to say.
Braddy Ann.
All right. What is our next one? Oh, Emily Dickinson versus Charles Dickens.
I'm so excited for this. Colin, do you want to go first with A Fine Old English Gentleman?
Yes, this is called A Fine Old English Gentleman.
Can we just say that both of these people are like wildly just wild. Like the things, I'm excited to see what comes from this. I'm gonna do the mushrooms. Oh, there.
The Fine Old English Gentleman. Where the hell is it?
Where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? Where the hell is it?
The Fine Old English Gentleman is low-key a sea shanty. I'm not gonna sing it. I call it a sea shanty. It's really just like a song to be sang, a satirical ballad. I'll sing you a new ballad, and I'll warrant it first rate of the days of that old gentleman who had the old estate, when they spent the public money at a bountiful old rate on every mistress, pimp, and scamp at every noble gate. In this fine old English Tory time, soon they may come again. The good old laws were garnished well with gibbets, whips, and chains, with fine old English penalties and fine old English pains, with rebels' heads and seas of blood once hot in rebel veins. For all these things were requisite to guard the rich old gains of the fine old English Tory times, so may they come again. This brave old code, like Argus, had 100 watchful eyes, and every English peasant had his good old English spies to tempt his starving discontent with fine old English lies, then call the good old yeomanry to stop his peevish cries.
Come through with the screen share, nigga.
In the fine old English Tory times, soon may they come again. It goes on and on and on. I'm not reading every verse. It's a goddamn sea shanty. I could think of the.
But he bought the pimps and the hoes.
Okay, so lines that stand out to me. It is in the first stanza, when they spent the public money at a bountiful old rate on every mistress, pimp, and scamp at every noble gate. These niggas were rich. They rolled, imagine someone rolling up to International out here in Oakland, decided, I'm gonna go buy the hoes, I'm gonna buy the niggas buying the hoes, and I'm gonna go buy the pimps too. Having enough money to buy the whole strip.
The baby said, I might come to your hood and come buy you,
Right. Yes, when the baby said, I might come to your hood and come buy me a nigga.
He was quoting Charles Dickens.
He was quoting Charles Dickens.
Which, did he own slaves?
Did Dickens own slaves?
How old is that man? He might
I
not.
don't care. Charles Dickens owned slaves. Yeah, nothing says he owned. Ooh. Wait. He did not own slaves, but he did not denounce slavery neither.
That sounds like a lot of people right now not voting for Trump, but not denouncing him or doing anything to get him out of office until it's convenient 4 years later. But you know, what do I know? Anyway, we are gonna have a fun poem from Emily Dickinson.
What is it called?
The mushroom is the elf of plants. I'm gonna just preemptively say Emily got this round. The mushroom is the elf of plants. At evening, it is not Fuck Poetry Foundation. At morning, in a truffled hut, it stopped upon a spot, as if it tarried always. As yet, its whole career is shorter than a snake's delay, and fleeter than a tear. 'Tis vegetation's juggler, the germ of alibi, doth like a bubble antedate, and like a bubble high. Girl, I'm high too. I feel as if the grass, the weed, was pleased to have it intermit the surreptitious scion of summer circumspect. Had nature any supple face, or could she one contend? Had nature an apostate, that mushroom, it is him. She took a bunch of mushrooms, started seeing shit, and was like, this is God right here. Let me tell you something. I think she ended up becoming soup. It's an inside joke. Don't worry about it. But I think she had a very soupy high.
By inside joke, Reggie means you need to have done shrooms before.
With me.
Hey, anybody who's ever done shrooms, they know what soup is.
Mm-hmm. They know what soup is.
They might not have said soup before, but they know what soup is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, prophet. Mushrooms.
Yes, mushrooms.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Emily Dickinson won this because I personally love shrooms.
Y'all, this is my favorite round. This last round of the first bracket.
Hold up, I
need you to pull up Walking in a Pocket. Because we're doing Dr. Seuss versus Shel Silverstein. I'm so excited for this. Let me tell you something. A light in the attic, that was my shit growing up. This nigga taught me about communism. Lit. So would you like to go first with the Walking in the Pocket? Okay, you got it.
You got this, All right. So for those of y'all who don't know, Dr. Seuss was not just a poet. This nigga
Was a rapper.
was a rapper. This is Dr. Seuss's Walk It in a Pocket. Do you ever have a feeling there's a wasket in a basket or a neuro in your bureau or a wasset in your closet? Sometimes I feel quite certain there's a jerkin in the curtain. Sometimes I get the feeling there's a zot behind the clock and that zelf up on the show. I have talked to myself. That's, that's the kind of house I live in. There's a knee in the sink and a zamp and a lamp, and I think they're rather nice. Oh my gosh, this is ghetto. We can keep going and going and going and
No,
going.
we haven't even gotten to Walk It in the Pocket, sorry. And they're rather nice, I think. Some of them are really friendly, like the yacht in the pot, but that yachto in the bottle. Some are friendly, some are not. I like Zabel on the table and the chair in the chair. I got a mofo on the sofa. Well, I wish he wasn't there. All those numbers in the covers, they're good fun to have about. But that new brush in my toothbrush, him I could do without. Anyway. You get the picture. There's a Zower in my shower, a Zillow in my pillow. Let me tell you something. I don't even think the words "walk it in my pocket" are even in here.
Yes, they actually never come up in the book.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to walk it in my pocket. Walk it in my pocket. Walk it in my pocket. I got walk it in my pocket. There's a walk it in my pocket. A. 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 Walk it in my pocket. A.
Percocet.
Molly Percocet. You all can't take this nowhere.
Okay. Prophet said this is going to be the hardest one. Yeah. Silverstein versus Seuss. Now we got Silverstein.
Okay. We got Mr. Smeds and Mr. Spats, which is, in fact, a poem about capitalism. Mr. Spats had 21 hats, and none of them were the same. And Mr. Smeds had 21 heads, but only one hat to his name. Now, when Mr. Smeds met Mr. Spats, they talked of the buying and selling of hats, and Mr. Spats bought Mr. Smeds' hat. Did you ever hear anything crazier than that? This nigga with 21 hats and one head bought the one hat of the nigga with 21 heads. He could have given that nigga 20 hats, still had one hat, and the nigga would have had a hat for every head he had. So that's capitalism for you. Never blame the working class. Because there's always a nigga with 21 hats. There's always a nigga with 21 hats trying to buy your one hat off your 21 heads. And you know what they're called? The landlord. The land motherfucking lord.
I hope your landlord don't live.
We here at Rich Oak believe that all landlords are bad. Not all of them. There are certain landlords that are actually like doing stuff for the community, but it's like intentional. Like, you know, those people who buy up like an apartment building and then are like, we're gonna make this low income housing, all of it. Like, I want to do some shit like that and like charge $200 a month in rent because I don't think that you should have to pay to live somewhere, but we got to keep the lights on somehow. Are those people landlords though? Who?
The ones who buy up.
Right, they're not landlords, they're community organizers. Let's talk about it.
Oh, in our next founder speech, we'll be talking about property management and the bullshit of the housing market.
Can you get us some mango nectar and some peach nectar? Damn.
The Who Next
We
brand.
need to go get some Hennessy. To rim the top of these mimosas, yes. Bitch, don't play with me. Pro tip, so a really cool drink is if you make a peach or mango Bellini, which is mango or peach puree or nectar, and then you put like a sparkling wine like Prosecco. I love Prosecco.
Mm-hmm.
In there. And then what you do is like you take that Bellini and you take a spoon and you put a shot of Hennessy right on top. And the Bellini is denser than the Hennessy, so the Hennessy stays right on top. It's got that nice layer. You get that sharpness of that Hennessy and that bitterness, but it cuts that sweetness of the Bellini and makes it so much more drinkable, and you get fucked up. Because you just had a shot and a glass of wine and you're gonna want 3 of those. So it's like 3 shots and 3 glasses of wine is great. Shout out to Tracy for all of those wine downs. But yeah, I kind of agree with Prophet in the comment section. I think Silverstein won it by a pimp's pinky fingernail or a razor blade.
Yes, I think the pimp's pinky fingernail is way longer than the razor blade.
Well,
not on a live stream. All right.
For those of you who don't.
So, in our second round.
Second round. What
are our brackets looking like?
Your second round. So we're gonna do Silverstein versus Aaron Bradshaw and Frost versus Dickens.
Oh God. Okay.
Do you want to do Silverstein and I will do Bradstreet? Like, we gonna fuck up this lady's name. We gonna fuck up this lady's name. Herc. Mm-hmm. Also about capitalism.
All right, this is Herc by Shel Silverstein.
I like it already.
I'd rather play tennis than go to the dentist. I'd rather play soccer than go to the doctor. I'd rather play Herc than go to work. Herc? What's Herc? I don't know, but it must be better than work. Period. Snap.
Okay. The next poem. Oh, that's the wrong bitch. Hold on. I got the wrong white girl. Oh shit, let me just copy and paste. I got nails on, it's so hard to fucking type. But we're gonna do By Night When Others Soundly Slept by Anne Bradshaw Bradstreet. She's like Cheryl from fucking Archer. Nobody knows what the fuck her real name is. It's whatever the fuck I say it is right now. By night when others soundly slept. 1. By night when others soundly slept and half once both ease and rest, my waking eyes were open, and so to lie I found it best. 2. I sought him whom my soul did love. With tears, I sought him earnestly. He bowed his ear down from above. In vain, I did not seek or cry. 3. My hungry soul he filled with good. He in his bottle put my tears, my smarting wounds washed in his blood and banished thence my doubts and fears. 4. What to thy Savior shall I give? To my Savior shall I give, who freely hath done this for me. I'll serve him here with whilst I shall live and lure him to eternity. I think she was having like depression or an anxiety attack and prayed on it and found relief and is thanking God. And you know what? I'm not Christian or nothing like that, but you know, I do have depression and anxiety and I understand. You know, I like whatever gets you through that moment is whatever gets you through. Some lines that stuck out to me. He bowed his ear from above. That's what made me think of God, because she capitalized above too, which is interesting. She does a lot of things with above, with capitalization. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Stella Silverstein because fuck capitalism. What about you? And I don't want to go to work. That's why I have the next 2 weeks off.
Her? Her? What's her? I don't know, but it must be better than work. And it must be better than any other poem that could go up against it. Because I'm going to give that one to Shel Silverstein again.
Yup.
Yeah.
Shel Silverstein.
Her name is Ann Brad something now.
Ann Brad something. Yup.
Yeah.
That's her mug.
We could also call her, as all Black people call somebody who they don't care to know their name, old girl / old boy. Ann Bradshaw, aka, that's still not her name, Ann Bradstreet, aka old girl.
All right, and so next we have Frost versus Dickinson.
Woo-wee.
I'll go first this time.
Let's go.
We're gonna go with Come Slowly, Eden, which is exactly what it sounds like. Come slowly, Eden, lips unused to thee, bashful, sip thy jessamines as the fainting bee. Reaching late his flower, round her chamber hums, counts his nectar, enters, and is lost in balms. That is about sex. Somebody dicked her down. Or she wanted somebody to dick her down. And let me tell you something. As somebody who once described a vibrator as bees on the inside, but in a good way, this metaphor is like top tier. Top motherfucking tier.
Top tier. All right. This one is called Mending Wall by Robert Frost. Did vibrators exist like that back then? Not vibrators, but they definitely had dildos. Mm-hmm. Some of them were made of wood.
Imagine getting a splinter in your pussy. Or your booty hole. Oh no. How you get a splinter in your booty hole?
Mending Wall by Robert Frost. Something there that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen ground swell under it and spills the upper boulders in the sun and makes gaps even two can pass breast.
A breast. That's how you know we've been making a living.
The work of hunters is another thing. I've come after them and made repair where they have left not one stone on a stone. I'm stoned.
On a stone.
On a stone. But they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. The gaps I mean. Some dog ass. The gaps I mean, no one has seen them made or heard them made. But at spring mending time, we find them there. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill, and on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go, to each the boulder that has fallen to each. And there are loaves and some to talk to inanimate objects. We wear our fingers rough with handling them. With handling them. Oh, just another kind, oh God, this was a long poem. Oh, just another kind of outdoor game, one's on a side, it comes to little more. There where it is, we do not need the wall. He is all pine and I am apple orchard. My apples will never get across and I eat the cones under his pines. I tell him, he only says, good fences make good neighbors. Spring is the mischief in me and I wonder.
Power line right there. Power line. That would have gotten some oohs out of slam. Spring is the mischief in me.
And I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbors? Is it where there are cows, but here there are no cows? Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not elves exactly. I'd rather he said it for himself. I see him there, bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top in each hand, like old stone savage arm. He moves in darkness, as it seems to me, not only of woods and the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father's saying, and he likes having the thought of it so well. He says, "Good fences make good neighbors." This is anti-Trump before Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Said, "Fuck that wall."
Said, "Fuck that wall."
Mexico, he said Mexico's not gonna pay for it. God damn.
Okay, so we have.
Also, I really think he wants to fuck his neighbor, but the wall is in the way.
I thought I was the only one getting those
This
vibes.
nigga said he is a pine and I am an apple orchard, and my apples will never reach his side of the fence. So yeah,
Okay.
he's trying to stretch them apples.
Okay, but like, also, who knew that Emily Dickinson was such a freak?
Yes. I just hip hop prophet said Frost has a good poem, but I still get it to Emily, give me some Dickinson. I really want to say, just because of the Emily, give me some Dickinson,
Yep.
we're gonna have to give it to Emily, give me some Dickinson.
Wow. So that means our last bracket is Shel Silverstein
versus Emily, give me some Dickinson. What's the last poem by Silverstein? We have a light on in the eye. The Little Boy and the Old Man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the last one is after pain, great pain comes familiar things.
Cool. So I'll start off with Shel Silverstein. This is The Little Boy and the Old Man. Said the little boy, "Sometimes I drop my spoon." Said the little old man, "I do that too." The little boy whispered, "I wet my pants." "I do that too," laughed the little old man. Said the little boy, "I often cry." The old man nodded, "So do I." "But worst of all," said the boy, "it seems grown-ups don't pay attention to me." And he felt the warmth of the wrinkled old man. "I know what you mean," said the little old man. Is that the end of it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's like so intergenerational.
Intergenerational trauma.
Therapy. Intergenerational therapy.
And honestly, that's what our activism needs to be like. If we're not incorporating youth and elders, as well as folks that are like, younger, but like not old. If we're not including all generations in our activism, then we're not fighting for all generations, which means we're not fighting for everybody. Like the elders have experience and the youth have innovation. It takes both to create a just and moral society.
Mm-hmm.
So I really fucks with Shel Silverstein for his politics. Like, white boy got weird with the music career though. White boy got weird with the music career, but we like that too. We almost brought his music. We almost did. We almost fucking did. But we were like, nobody else has music. Let us stop.
Someone, I think it was God, threw shade at a specific localized youth poet organization who I would not name on stream.
Ross has a good poem, but I still
give it to Emily to give.
Youth can't speak. LOL. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. They ain't giving us money.
I'm damn right there.
And they're not going to. If you can't tell, I hate large nonprofits, like all of them. Like, name a large nonprofit and I hate them. But yes, welcome. So that was the little boy
and the old man.
And the old man.
Spreading that intergenerational shit.
And we have After Great Pain, a Formal Feeling Comes from Emily Dickinson. I think this is from like the 1300s, something like that. I don't know these officials a lot. After great pain, a formal feeling comes. The nerves sit ceremoniously like tunes. The stiff heart questions, was it he that bore? And yesterday, or centuries before, the feet mechanical go round a wooden way of ground or air or aught, regardless grown, of course, contentment like a stone. This is the hour of lead. Remember, if outlived, as freezing persons recollect the snow. First, chill, then stupor, then the letting go.
These are both really good poems.
Really good poems. This one is definitely more serious. I feel like, you know, it's about pain, and like I definitely like not just the pain, but the process of moving through the pain, which I think is really important, because us as poets, we oftentimes talk about this hurts, but like I think she does this really important thing of like, this isn't about after great pain, a formal feeling comes. And like when I think of formal, I think of professional, and it's like that moment of, okay, you allow yourself to experience the pain, to grieve, to like move in it.
We got to restart the IG stream.
Oh, we need to restart the IG stream. Okay.
We're going to restart the IG stream. We don't want them to miss any of this analysis or who like wins and has to go up in our bonus round. So,
oh my God, it's guava jam, bitch. I got this guava jam for this charcuterie board, and it is so fucking good.
Someone's saying it's a tie, maybe a very slight edge to Miss Gimme Some Dickinson.
I kind of feel that.
I kind of feel that too.
But I kind of want Shel Silverstein to go against.
I think, why don't we just put them both up against to see who does better?
Well, it's going to be Shel Silverstein. We're going to put Shel Silverstein. Because of who we got in the bonus round, I'm going to make the executive decision. I'm going to say Shel Silverstein won this round. Just because
this is clearly not a democracy, it's a dictatorship.
If versus battles were fair.
Wait, we're back on IG, so we should probably announce what happened.
Yeah, so cool. So we believe Shel Silverstein won that round. Welcome.
Very, very cool.
Instagram, hi. So yeah, we're going to put Shel Silverstein in our bonus round. Ooh, salami. So, do you have another poem by Shel Silverstein? We have a
whole book by Shel Silverstein. So in our bonus round, we have Shel Silverstein
versus
George quotes from the 43rd President of the United States, George W. Bush. So let's bring up some quotes real quick. George W. Bush. So, fun fact, George W. Bush was so famous for his dumbass quotes, they were actually called Bushisms. And there is a whole Wikipedia page dedicated to Bushisms. All right, so here are some Bushisms. I think we can all agree the past is over. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on meeting with John McCain, May 10th, 2000. There was, they misunderestimated me. Bentonville, Arkansas, November 6th, 2000. I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully. Oh God, oh my gosh.
We arguing with fish people?
Here's my top 10, here's my favorite right here. There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again. Oh my gosh. Now, for those of you who don't know, the actual saying is fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. But George Bush, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say that he may have been a dumbass nigga, but he had something. He had something with that quote. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fuck you. You're not fooling me again. You're not fooling me again. I learned from my mistakes the first time. Bush might have had something going with that one.
See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in. It's kind of catapult the propaganda. Girl,
What, nigga?
he literally said, if you repeat things over and over again, it's propaganda, and that's what he's gonna have to do. I'm going to put people in my place so when the history of this administration is written, at least there's an authoritarian voice saying exactly what happened. Hold on, let me hide that. What happened he would write a book about the 12 okay. I'll be long gone before some smart person ever figures out what happened inside this Oval Office.
Here's one on foreign affairs. Yesterday, you made note of my lack of talent when it came to dancing, but I nevertheless want you to know that I dance with joy. And no question, Liberia has gone through very difficult times. Speaking with the president of Liberia in Washington, D.C., October 22nd, 2008. He really looked her dead in the eye and said, fuck you for criticizing my dancing skills. That's why y'all niggas are poor.
Can we also just talk about the colonization for an African president's name, a Black African president's name to be Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? Stay out my
Liberia was never actually like conquered. Or well, it was.
Yeah. See, the free nations are peaceful nations. Free nations don't attack each other. Free nations don't develop weapons of mass destruction. Like we don't have the largest nuclear arsenal on the planet.
Oh my gosh.
What are we fucking talking about? Nuclear warfare. What? Like this is, wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's George Bush. That's George W. I'm going to read a poem by Shel Silverstein. I think Shel's gonna win just on the principle.
Hey, but you gotta be on the Bush. You wait, one more Bush quote before you get on, and this was the legacy of his career. You get on that horse, you gotta ride it. And that's what he did. He got on that horse and he rode it.
He rode the fuck out of it.
He rode the hell out of it.
I'm trying to find like a good poem. Period. How not to have to dry the dishes. If you have to dry the dishes, such an awful, boring chore. If you have to dry the dishes instead of going to the store. If you have to dry the dishes and you drop one on the floor, maybe they won't let you dry the dishes anymore. As somebody who was known for throwing away dirty dishes when I didn't feel like doing it. I gotta give it to Shel. I gotta give it to Shel.
This is really tough.
Is it tough for you? I mean, it is stupid as stupid does, and literally.
Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking of new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
You know what?
It's close. It is so fucking close.
God, we need a tiebreaker. Oh God, you're Canadian. You have the unbiased opinion.
I mean, Shel Silverstein sticking with the anti-capitalist messaging there.
That's what I'm saying.
So I have to give it to Shel.
All right.
George Bush accidentally exposed
the establishment, not the establishment, the United States government. Establishment and non-establishment.
George Bush is like the drunk guy who walks up on the mic in the middle of a slam and just starts mumbling stuff.
So glad that never happened at Berkeley when I was running it. Because I for real fight. Don't do that shit at Rich Oak. If you're not on the list, please do not walk up on stage. That's hella rude, first of all. Let's start there. That's hella rude. Rude as fuck. Rude as fuck. Second, don't do that while I'm hosting.
All right, I think we're gonna give it to Shel Silverstein.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I can't believe y'all stopped through us with this bullshit.
Oh, yeah. How many people do we have watching on like Instagram and Facebook and shit?
Y'all been great.
It's been jumping around. I think people kind of left once the Bushisms started.
Yeah. That's real. But Shel Silverstein wins. Thank y'all for being here and for playing and for chilling with us. If you would like to support us, you can always visit our link tree, linktree.e/. Rich Oak Events. You can also donate to us personally. My Venmo is at Reggie Poetry.
My Cash App is #cornrow Colin.
You can always donate to us.
It's a happy birthday. It's a real nigga birthday.
Hey, hey, real nigga birthday. Hey, hey, real nigga birthday. He fucked up this charcuterie board.
Oh yeah, this charcuterie board is like almost done.
Charcuterie board, charcuterie board. It's a charcuterie board. Y'all have been amazing. We will see y'all in the new year. We're gonna be coming right back with our slams, our open mics, and our writing workshops in January. I hope y'all are able to enjoy the holidays, especially Kwanzaa. And we will see y'all in 2021. Stay inside, wear a mask. I want to be able to celebrate my birthday next year.